before he could be registered. So today, the first achievement of all of us Nigerians, when we rejected the old register that was deficient in content and integrity, was that today you no longer have names of foreigners on our register. At best, prior to the AFIS process, what you had, as Neota corrected, was a case of multiple registration, which by the process of AFIS have been removed. Now, when you get to the stage, what we call the post-business rule, having agreed that it's going to be principle of one person, one vote, we discover that Nigerians whose picture you could see, you will not find their thumbprint. Or you can find a few fingerprints, you will not find a picture. Meanwhile, by going for what is called the card reader process, once you bring your card, then once you put it behind, on the card reader, your face will be out with a very high resolution. You will see it. There will be a printed hard copy of the total number of register on that particular police. You will see it. The driver will see it. Agent will see it. Therefore, the PVC can no longer be used in subsequent election because we compare the process of the use of the PVC from Ekiti State, Osun State, and now for the PVC elections, we are going to be using the permanent vote. Okay. INEC, under
will have to...
Part 3, paragraph 15 of the Electoral Act and of the Constitution, has power to make some regulation, particularly section 9, 10, and all the other relevant sections.
Okay, Mr. Agini, thank you so much. We'd like to ask you one quick question before you go. Mr. Agini, before you go, a quick one here.
With respect to diaspora voting, every Nigerian, a citizen has a right to vote. That will be complied with. INEC is a creation of law. That will be done. I agree with my colleague there. He mentioned that fact to me. But the condition precedent for participating in the election under the law is that you must be registered first. So most of our colleagues, our sisters and brothers in diaspora, we also have to make arrangements to go and register them. Either they come down.
Okay, Mr. Agini, we really have to go. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
In those areas. With respect to PVC, finally, PVC.
Thank you. We're having Mr. Mike Igini. He's talked about, he has responded to the court judgment. But the question will now be, how would they vote? Because indeed, we do have a comment here from someone who is out of the country.
Sorry, a quick one. They can. It is wrong. It is illegal, unreasonable of INEC to now pick and choose the manner of complying with the valid subsisting judgment of the Nigerian court.
No, what he says
about
is
6
conditional
years ago.
precedence, his words, conditional precedence that they have to be registered.
No, the laws, the judgment says they should allow Nigerians in diaspora to vote as a matter of law, as a matter of valid judgment from the federal court.
How would they vote? How would they
Then
vote?
they shouldn't go ahead to conduct another election without making sure Nigerians in diaspora vote as a matter of right and law. That is my point.
Okay. So no, they will ensure that they register first.
Yes, that's the starting point. So how can you say, look, I'm going to choose a chairman of
while you're making your comments,
yes,
this is from Aliyu Yero. He says, I am not in Nigeria, but I have a permanent voter's card. So how would Yero here, who is not in Nigeria but has a PVC, how would he vote?
Well, I think that question is best answered.
Which is what he's saying.
It's best answered by INEC, not to me. But the point is that I think the Electoral Act actually says if you are ordinarily resident in Nigeria, maybe if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected, that if you are ordinarily resident, you can also vote or be registered as a voter. But the point I'm making is this: having listened to Mike, I wonder whether Dr. Orkestri has a case or has a reason. Because my worry is this: if we are not careful, I don't want all these legal issues to clog up the process. And if care is not taken, I can turn around and say, look, Dr. Oke has gone to court. The Land Council has a case in court. There's a case about somebody's certificate here and there. So we want the court to adjudicate on all these matters, and and use that as a reason in order to postpone the election. And that is why we must look for a different platform whereby all these outstanding matters could be dealt with between now and then. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to court.
Right. We're almost out of time. With these cases, assuming we all go to court, with all the cases there are still some other cases from the primaries. With all these cases, do you think the judiciary will be ready to sort through them before the elections if we go ahead in 2 weeks?
The judiciary is going to be ready? I doubt it, because the process is not as expected by a number of us. Time is not devoted, let me use the word, squarely and specifically on matters of this nature, because they have to be part of the causes, part of what you have on the list. So that's why I'm not too sure the judiciary will be able to sort it out before then. So but let me finish. But what I have said in my own matter is that, look, if you have not been able to replace my temporary voter's card, will you be right to deprive me from voting? Okay. When it is not that I have not come to collect, I have been there, I did not see. Can you deprive me from voting? That's what Mike has not probably responded to. He's come up with theory and spoken loud about, oh, it's also it's printed outside the country. You can print it on the moon. It has nothing to do with me. Okay, it is for me to have my voters because I can vote.
We're almost out of time.
A quick one.
Your last word.
My last word is that INEC, of course, the judiciary, all these cases will go in writing the runs, at least to send a very strong signal. But INEC is just not prepared, because when we are talking of e-voting, people could vote even in advance. Yemi Oke has registered. The ballot will come in my name. My card is there. I can go there, print my home ballot for governorship, even vote ahead of time. Yemi Oke cannot access the same thing. It's like a checkbook. It's like your ATM card. This thing is doable. If I have a PVC, I can put it in there, print my home ballot paper, which will inscribe my name. I can cast my vote ahead of time. I cannot go again and vote twice. This thing is doable. People vote in advance. People vote anywhere. INEC is just not prepared. A lot of money has been given to them,
and it's not the product of the law.
Your last word.
My last word is, maybe you can read my lips. People, the judiciary will need to take a robust approach against all outstanding cases, okay? So that we don't have a very ugly situation whereby this election will not go ahead, or we give INEC an excuse so that they can turn around and say, look, there are so many cases in court, we want the court to resolve them, and use that as a platform in order to postpone the election. And for those who want to go to court, I'm not saying they shouldn't go, but they should consider another option, because that is in the
Mr. Keredolu, your last word.
Well, my last word is this. I want to say that postponing the election is probably not an option. I'm not looking at that. I'm saying that INEC, with whatever problems he has, must find solution to them, and be able to accommodate all of us and afford us opportunity of voting. Those of us who don't have a permanent voter's card, you should not disenfranchise this large number of people. That's all.
Okay. Just before we go, we have a tweet here from Shitu, who says the problem is that when you say delay the election, when do you think INEC will be ready? After 4 years? Should we give them 10 years to get themselves ready?
That means we are hard for an election that might not be credible. That's it.
And Femi Fakolade says, my question is the election going to hold or not?
I doubt it.
Olalikon says,
I believe it will hold.
But it will hold, but might not be credible. If we go ahead, it might be.
One last one. Olalikon says, people go to INEC to collect INEC collection centers, but INEC won't be there.
Is the problem
and Olalekon again says, let people with no PVC use the temporary voter's card, which is what Mr. Keredolu here is advocating.
INEC is saying no. Those are the problems we're going to have.
Thank
the
you very
judgment
much.
Not comply with
Thank
PVC,
you very
PVC.
much. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We have been chatting with 3 legal practitioners, one of them actually an SAN, Mr. Rotimi Keredolu, who is the former MBA president, Mr. Odlufemi Aino, a legal practitioner, as well as Dr. Yemi Oke also a legal practitioner and a lecturer at the University of Lagos. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming to share your insights with us. I wish you luck in picking up your PVC. And I hope that we all are able to go out and vote come the 14th and the 28th of February.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sunrise will return in just a moment. Please stay with us.